said, the good news for us is that while we are trying to figure out what is going on over here, Stream B is ongoing. So we will toss on over to Stream B so that we can tune into that matchup as Black Dragons and Sonics do battle. And when we're ready to roll over here, we'll come right back.
As long as you do not have control fully, you might just be tossing utility at it without really getting any form of return out of it.
Gunner, he's still sort of waiting for a first bit of presence. He hears those ex-Kairos start to, again, get close. The pop of that. Gio snuck himself closer towards the half wall onto Piano. They've cleared a pocket of space, Black Dragons. They're sort of saying, well, we want this column, we want pressure onto Fireplace, and we might just try and stick a plant at this point. Ion's going to try and get the lockdown over the opposite side. Basetto's digging his way closer and closer towards the breach. As said, this is going to be the plan A. When you got a glass, you got the smokes on the cover. It is this lean in, but Grixer gets the take from the back end. That's the glass gone. They're just going to have to trust the cover in the smoke and the E1D behind it. Basetto, he's tucked around onto the lockers. He's got the kid in pocket. He's not entirely sure about going for the plant, but Grixer just has to make a movement to get this take.
Needs to run for it, doesn't see it, they know the plant's happening and it's gone down. 45 seconds. Now two players trying to rush back up to that main staircase as Kansan finds one. Nade takes down Gunner though, brings it to a 4-on-3. Time still ticking down, 30 seconds left on the clock, but a great kill from Kansan onto Ion. That is going to be giving him an opportunity to breathe right here as Rexon is going for the defuse in the meantime, but has to go off. It's going to provide some support with Nade coming in the back right now.
There it is, the off-piste plant is going to cause them problems. They just had to retake stairs. It worked in terms of getting the kit down. It was a good play. You could see as soon as they had the idea, Sonics were going to see if they could swing into it. But also in that moment in time, they didn't quite know where the right angle was. At that point, you just have to get the control of the stairs. It becomes really tricky to swing onto that exact angle if you do not have either the stairs control or the drop down on the hatch, which we saw in the little box.
Yeah, for sure. So, well, they did the best they could there, Black Dragons. They managed to get that plan down, but unfortunately not properly set up enough afterwards to maintain the advantage they were just able to create for themselves, which was flipping the 6 teammate of time into their own favor. And with that, it is going to be the Sonics to take a first round, quite convincingly as well. Now are looking for one more. We're headed one floor up towards the bar and gaming room. Now, this is a site where, specifically NA, when Chile just got reintroduced towards the map pool, was able to dissect European defenses perfectly whilst not really suffering to the same extent. So, their defenses usually over bar and gaming are really good.
Rexon, will he get lucky? Will they drift their way in? Doesn't seem like he's going to stick around and find out, actually. I think he wanted to get a very early catch here. He's moved himself onto Piano window, I believe, as the pressure's tucked in. There is everything that Gio wants to do to try and hold on to that top corner. It becomes a bit of a lockdown here on the second story. You have to clear out that corner player and see if you can at least get the kill on the way through the door. You're not going to get it with grenades, but you might get a catch on an angle. Then you got to deal with the player at the top of the fireplace, and then you got to see if you can try and push down the stairs. It's starting quite wide here for Black Dragons. They're going to initialize themselves with that double door open, but most of the pressure towards Trophy on the far end.
Again, just trying to find some early wins here, Black Dragons, using that utility to get rid of other utilities, so the floors drones, to get rid of banshees, to get rid of barbed wire, maybe even magnets or ADSs if you're lucky, just so you make it easier for yourself once you do need to push through in the dying couple of seconds of that round. So a minute has passed, and right now Black Dragons members are starting to enter the building as they need to pressure onto the mezzanines and onto the library itself, but Grixer still being below is going to be finding himself in a gunfight with Nate soon if he didn't push out just in time.
That's it. Look at Sonics. They're just peeling away. They're reevaluating the pressure that they've got at minute 30, and they've forced Black Dragons into a wide clear. They forced them to pay attention towards the entirety of the map itself, and Sonics are still unscathed pretty much from it. Rexon, the only man to take damage, and that was by his own hand, Ramadashing. They still have, as I said, the control over the verticality. Gunner is still locked in here, and he might be the first point of problems. They've got themselves tacked onto the balcony. There's still not the angle and the support. It's a dangerous 1-versus-1 to just take, especially when you know that there's a cross window towards the top of blue stairs. There's the swing from box as well, which is the option you take, Black Dragons.
And the Forest about to be pushing through here. They know someone's going to be on that big pillar, but also someone inside the library takes a small amount of damage, but nothing too big to worry about. Yeah, Iron is going to be holding off that angle, hoping to punish the player if they lean back into the fight, but it's not quite happening as of yet. Gunner goes down. Rexon is well aware of the player on the balcony, but gets shut down by the big winner of press.
That's it, the cross angles. I talked about it before. The blinds come across the board, and suddenly BD is in and on and around. Gunner's gone down on Fireplace as well. Should be an easy pickup, and there it is. Now they've got to drop and see if they can get the kit down. 25 seconds. And Geo has gone for the rotate towards Snowmo underneath. Grixer wants to retake, misses the man, misses the opportunity. One more for Black Dragons, 15 seconds. It's the back line of Kansan to do something massive here. There's another swing of the E1D. Knows they've taken the drop, and Bassetto's going for the plant. Can't quite get the angle. Knows it's being watched. What route do you take? Unfortunately, none that leads to success. Geo at least gets one, and there's two. 3 was too many. Black Dragons get the second round.
Didn't actually realize that a jump-in was happening. Otherwise, Kenson might have been able to do something from that supply line earlier. Drop that diffuser, really make them stressed for time. But it's going to be Black Dragons that equalize that scoreline with a very well executed attack. They isolated those players. They set up those long angles. So if one stepped just out of line from the Sonics, you were able to pick them up within a heartbeat. So well done by Black Dragons. That lands them their first attacking round on their way for more though.
First round, back and forth. Hey, B-Stream seems to have a bit of a habit of this, and you know, Black Dragons, if we're talking about how important it is for Sonics to get points from this game, and it is, Black Dragons want to get a full fat win. They want to try and match the pace that a lot of the other Latin American teams have been able to do. They want to make sure that they're sitting pretty towards the top of the group, especially with Eminem being able to do it against this roster. Even if, let's just say, based on the results from earlier on, that Eminem and Black Dragons are the teams in first and second, the fact that the other one was able to pull full points from this team, if you're not able to, then second becomes less a opportunity, but more an unfortunate guarantee when you should be wanting first.
Rexon go for a bit of an attempt at a spawn peek here, but went off just as a player would have appeared onto the heli platform. It's not going to be finding any early opening here on either Nate or Bassetto. Unless they fall back, unless we still have 10 players in-game. It's a sense, by the way, making an appearance.
Love them.
Together with
on this
Glass. On this map, especially.
On this map, Sens, love them. They can just drive takes. There's drone holes, there's angles, there's positions, especially on this site. The drone hole Perez is drifting close to that I know you want to talk about.
Now, I was actually going to say, the one counter towards the Sense light screen is going to be impact grenades or explosives.
Yep.
If you look at the left-hand side of your screen, there's none left.
Nada.
So they will stay up. You'll just have to fire through and hope for the best, because there's also no mute. And that basically just like doubles the value of these light screens.
Sonics, they're a little bit cautious, but they're trying to make sure that they still stand up close towards the lines that they built. They'll hear the air jabs going off. That buys them a second here for Ion's going to just drone out ahead and get some clarity and know they're not going to get swung on the ping on the piano player. The second right on the door of the balcony. And they'll fall back. This is what I'm talking about. It's caution. They want to make sure they're not instantly punished by it. Bassetto now knows he can get this clean and clear as anything. Nothing's going to stop it, and the breach over the top happens. It's part one of a two-part story. The second is the first story, and he's instantly there as well.
The thing is, with that breach, they know no one is going to be playing up right above it because it is kind of a suicide position and they have it. Toxic is going to get ready. He's wanting to use that light screen, roll it through that drone hole. The glass will be covering from the main stairs all the way through it, basically making it impossible to stop this plan.
All right, it looks like everything is ready.
We found the button, and we're about to press it. And hopefully it just works.
Fingers crossed, it just works.
Yeah.
Because things break, and then...
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes for no reason. That's the thing about technology, right? Like, it works one time, and then all of a sudden it doesn't work. But we're being told that it should be A-OK to go. Player fist bumps going out as well, signifying that we are indeed, most likely, possibly, going into the server there.
You are not legally allowed to fist bump your teammate. Unless you are ready.
True.
What on earth is going on with these community
Wait, what?
52%
Wait, how?
CAG is going to win. That is not, I don't believe it.
After Eminem beat Sonics the way they did, the vocals in favor of CAG who lost to Black Dragons early.
I don't believe that.
That's crazy.
I don't believe that. Operator bans coming in. Eminem banning Ying. That means that Cyclops don't have a Monty ban against them.
That is true. And that is something that we don't see very often. Cyclops bans the Nuke, arguably the strongest attacker in the game, the most banned operator in the game throughout all regions combined, essentially. 2 key operators are gone, but there are more to follow. Asami, Mira, and Valkyrie are all very strong defenders on this map. Usually Asami does not last or survive the ban phase. She does so far. When Mai from Cyclops gets chosen, Eminem, that's the final ban.
Ooh. What are they going to take care of here? I could see an anti-breach go. Nope, it's Asami.
Asami follows.
There you have it.
Asami is very hard to attack against because of how strong you can make the library hold, which that's like every single bomb site but the basement gets affected by that. So Asami just usually flies off the list here immediately. And it's in right in the beginning. It's gonna just show us Blitz because why not? And then probably gonna attack a repick into Monty or something else. That's funny because Aniton is the flex player of Cyclops. He'll play so many different operators depending on what map, what bombs that they're attacking, of course, what strategy they're opting to go for. Whereas MNM, they play a bit of I want like to say like freestyle kind of operators, but you see already now uses on the Capcan. Solotop's gonna get enabled with that alibi crutch, as we call it, just get really aggressive, in-your-face kind of playstyle, which I think will favor quite well against Cyclops, who too like to play aggressive.
Funny enough that both these games that are ongoing are on this same map.
That is true. Saw the Sonics Black Dragon score was 1-1 before we jump back to us, I believe, so they've just started, but it's a close series already. Here we're starting downstairs in the basement, which is not very typical starting bomb site for most teams. Normally you see bar being the #1 preference, into kitchen, and then basement or master bedroom, depending on which side you prefer as a team. But it will be a basement start for Eminem. CAG, they have to attack it. Aniton did swap off... sorry, no, he did not. He's in the bottom this time. He's still in the blitz, sorry. That's a smoke grenade.
Were they expecting the OSA to have the mini EMPs?
That is a possibility, but Thermite wasn't nearby to breach the
They also have a
wall,
Thatcher and the mini EMPs on
Dokkaebi,
so I'm trying to figure out...
Oh, that's gonna be a rush.
Oh yeah,
Gonna go in,
ready.
try and plant with the OSA shield probably.
Da-da-da-da-da-da! They are ready, and they are in! Aniton rebuffed immediately. Behind the shield, though, Suzu getting the plant down. Usus, the first one involved in the fracas. Eminem cleaning up on kills, but CAG manages to get out of it with the diffuser planted. Remarkable stuff, and now you sit back and you wait. To be fair, this exact strategy from CAG has popped up many, many times. They just need to hop on it. CAG cleaning up. Relatively easy as you're in such a difficult position. That just leaves Neo as the last man standing. Chunking away at the HP, but it's just a reflex test. Out he runs. He manages to get it. You have 7 seconds. Long arming the diffuser. Suzu will need to encroach upon his position very quickly. Neo falls off. Gets the kill, but it doesn't matter. Not going to come even remotely close, and well, it was actually a second away. Very impressive stuff, but still just falls short. CAG takes the rush upon getting the garage door open, and they win round number 1.
This seems to be now a pattern of CAG, because in a round that they played against Black Dragons on Bank, they attacked open area. They just went bottom square through that double door with a glass and capital. They smoked everything, walked in and planted. This is the same similar attack. We like to call them limited direct attacks or a rush strat, where you only take what you absolutely need and you just work with that. The one thing that you need in these scenarios is like the key operators either granting vision cover, so a smoke grenade or a flashbang. That's where the Ying is normally very strong, or you need some sort of physical protection, the Blitz, the Monty, the OSA, etc. They had the Blitz and the OSA. Blitz goes in deep, was gonna try and distract the defenders. He got shut down immediately, but the OSA shield itself granted enough cover and bought enough time for the diffuser to go down. And you can win that 2 versus 5, 3 versus 5, no problem, because again, your post-plant positioning being so far back outside the building is so strong and heavily favors the zoom scopes of the attackers. And that's why CAG, despite being 2 members down, could rather easily win that round for their team.
Frost coming out on this bomb site of Bar Gaming on the first floor. This is the bomb site that you do tend to see her and her pick rate is the highest. Teams will want to take library upstairs. They might take the gaming portion down below. You can also expand outwards and put those frost mats over inside of the bedroom component on this top floor. Very common to see defenders play upstairs, though, over this bomb site, tucked into that little nook and cranny, which is exactly where you see Ubisoft right now. If you're sitting on an ADS, it can be very tricky for a grenade to hit you. It's also a nice spot if a Wamai is up for you to sit, because Capitao arrows are often unable to hit you in that particular location if a magnet is thrown in the right area.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of teams struggle with that particular position. We see CAG, though, kind of ignoring that part of the map and just going a direct attack from that kitchen side. They could just be flaunting towards the bomb site in a moment here, but no, they get stopped. No, shut down rather towards Tyrant.
Annihilator in immediately dispatching one of the players, and again, Cyclops are very close to being into the bomb site. They went for a quick rush previously. Nitro goes out from Nello. Nothing done at all. A second for Aya as down goes Nello inside of the bomb site. Aya heads downstairs. Logic bombs goes off, and that will allow Cyclops to maybe wait just a tiny, tiny bit. They know that some of these defenders are nestled into the bomb site. MNM are quick to get back in so they can hang on to what little they have left, as they suffered 2 casualties pretty early into the round.
I really like this from Cyclops. They get this really explosive, aggressive start. Now they're waiting for a rotation to get another kill. And MNM, well, they're not actually moving too much here, but anyway, Gatorada finds another kill onto Uses. Now sort of he needs to get super aggressive to try and get something back, but they're waiting, and it pays off again.
This could be flawless if Neo can't have anything. Will he? No, he can't. Black Ray cleans up on the very final engagement and wins it. Cyclops maybe did know something that we didn't, because they're now up 2-0, and they have played both rounds pretty much perfectly.
And now the thing is, Cyclops can, they have what we call like the momentum and the mental advantage, because if you're Eminem, you're gonna fear another direct rush no matter what bomb site you play on. And Cyclops, they don't have to keep up this kind of really fast-paced choice of style. They can change it up and go really, really slow. And then they have to respect and fear, if you will, the rush that might be happening. So Cyclops can really toy with them. They can keep changing up the pace and keeping them guessing, and that could be a really good way for them to keep picking up these rounds. MNM, they're now forced in a more defensive setup. You see it here. Mirror windows to make the bomb site stronger in case of a push. And Banshee's coming out to stop that as well. Grant information. There is not a Valkyrie and Echo being picked up for further information gain, but they are slowing down their pace and playing more together now as opposed to the last previous rounds, because of how Cyclops have been so successful at countering the aggressive performance. So I like this change up. But then look at Cyclops and their Tiger repicks. They go on to a Capitao Flores. So they are, again, now they change up the style to match MNM. They're gonna bring utility against utility and no longer go super, super crazy fast, but they have the Monty. They can force any position in the map with this particular operator as long as they do it carefully in the right way without losing the Monty, because Anaton, he likes to get a little bit too cheeky sometimes on the Monty, going a little too aggressive, and that's one of the weaknesses that might come up in this round.
There's that Flores drone, second crack at this same bomb site now. And a different approach, I have to imagine, from Gator, as they're now bringing a completely different lineup, absent a dedicated hard breacher.
Don't need it.
They don't need it, they got a Monty.
Kills.
Exactly.
Yeah. Let's see how they approach. It is hard for Monty to get inside the building on this attack, especially if you want to go for this library style execute. That's where Susi and the Capitao and the grenades from Sledge are going to be. Uses, he reads the situation, toss up the C4, he's gonna fall back because of the fire. It's a trade-off. 1 C4 for 1 fire arrow. Ultimately, CAG, they win that trade because they gain what they wanted. They forced the player out of a very important position. They can now sit tight on that balcony. Nobody can really retake from Eminem. Now the second push from Cyclops have to come out somewhere else. Monty can't get inside of library. Just not gonna happen. So this is not the main push. This is merely a distraction.
Gatorada will try to do some damage up top, and well, he doesn't find anything as he's on rappel just outside of library. Eminem being patient, again waiting. They've decided the frost was not working out for them. A linchpin of the strategy will be the Montaigne, and how Cyclops can march the French mountain in. That'll be what we keep an eye on.
Just through lobby, apparently, just walk on in.
Just walking right in. The brazenness of CAG.
I like this. He can force Tyrant's position out from the mirror window and grant them more access towards library, or even have a rotational kill here. It comes down to the 1v1 between Tyrant and Aniton. There it is, you force the position, rotation cut gets the kill, that's completely free of charge for Cyclops. Minutes ago, time is kind of slipping away, but they have enough time to work with.
That's the first pick again for Cyclops, 2 in a row. Oh, answered back. Solitov was so strong in that first matchup. Through these 3 rounds, he's been a little quiet. That's the very first pick that we've seen from him, even though he's got some helpers. Aniton now taking damage as the Monty that was in the main floor has moved upstairs. Biding his time. Grenade tossed in. This is working at some of the utility that might be present inside of the map. Black Ray with 1 onto Neo. Cyclops the advantage. Aniton walking in, flushing out this back bar. He's got Diffuser, nice kills from CAG. It's all up to Nello. The Monty's gonna take the engagement, and that was indeed very risky. He held the Diffuser 2 seconds, and you've got the Monty trying to kill somebody, not actually getting the objective planted.
I was thinking that the Monty was gonna drop with his shield facing the mirror window and then try and go for a plant. And Mira used the C4 earlier, so there was no plant deny available. Of course, CAG couldn't have known that for a fact because they don't have the HUD like we do as the observing side. But instead, you push on through, you force out the mirror window position, and with 2 seconds left, you have to ADS as a Monty with Diffuser to ensure the round goes in your favor. Again, that's the Aniton special. You don't go for the logical safe play, you go for the CAG style points.
Exactly. An interesting decision, but one that works out. We have the benefit of hindsight, so we can always go back and say, yeah, of course it was a brilliant idea. Or you can turn around and say, no, actually, that's a terrible idea. But have you noticed, by the way, it makes like a beeping noise when the timeout is about to end?
I only realized it just now. I didn't realize it earlier, actually.
Well,
This is the in-game build timeout system that was implemented like, what, 3 or 6 months ago? Like, it's rather new, if I'm not mistaken.
yes.
Yes. That's very cool. Very neat.
I'm glad you like it.
Of course. 3-0 for CAG, of course, so far. So the social vote might have known something that we didn't, because it is indeed looking mighty fine. Of course, this is Shelly attacking side, which statistically is the favorable side. But the way the rounds have been playing out, it is literally Cyclops having Eminem's number. I mean, we saw it. Round number 1, direct push on the garage breach. Works out very, very well. Second round, bar, literally flawless. No one dies or gets injured. Third round, they swap it up. They get to Monty, and they force out and counter the mirror window position from Tyrant perfectly. Now, 4th round, what do we see? Another operator being brought out in from the arsenal of Cyclops. It's gonna be Glass. Aniton, again, the value on this man. Flexing around. But again, I say that every single member from Cyclops literally attack or repicked all 5 operators. But the Glass is the main story. The secondary set of smokes from Susu, that's the follow-up. You always want to have a spare set of smokes to enable 2 different kinds of executes in case the first one fails, or it gets Wormide, or caught by Jaeger ADS. Uses is on the Warden. It's pretty much all up to him to stop this push, realistically speaking, and he's roaming. So this might not even be in play. We'll have to see what happens. Only 2 members in the breach. It's the Glass and the Thermite. It's not going to be a rush, I don't believe so, but they might bait it.
That's exactly what it seems to be. They open it up, smoke squad immediately. It's going to give covering fire that Aniton can see through.
Look, they rotate immediately.
Perfectly done by Ubisoft, but maybe the wrong part of the map that he's looking at. Gunfire still going in. Aniton marching forward. Glass will be able to see one way, worried about a possible bulletproof camera that can see through those smokes. And that's a good call, because there is one there from MNM that's staring out towards the breach.
Yeah, but it forced 1 member of the roam to rotate. So while, I mean, this basically worked. This is Cyclops being in Eminem's head because you rushed earlier and because you were successful. Eminem, they have to respect and answer and uses. He is an aggressive roaming member of this lineup, but because he's on the Warden, he has to fall back. That's where maybe Nello should have played the operator instead, who normally is on the bomb side. Either way, halfway through the round, Cyclops, they haven't gotten that opening kill that they've been getting so often. They haven't really gotten in the building much. They're just starting to in library right now. But it worked out, their plan. And the best part, they already got the breach opened up, so they've already saved those seconds on the clock. When they want to go, they can go back outside, second set of smokes can come through, and then you can go for that execute. As I say that, Black Gray, he finds Nello, he's off the board, 5 versus 4 minutes ago.
Not exactly the start that Eminem want. Now it's Solotov to take some damage. Through the soft wall. Solotov lagging well behind his performance earlier. Cyclops have now gotten the opening pick in the previous 3 rounds. They've won all of them thus far. Eminem struggling through this matchup to deal with this aggression. Black Gray down the stairs, inching closer to the opening. There goes the laser gates, as you want to call it. Oh no! Use this, looks away. Oh, okay, he gets the kill onto Black Gray at the last second. Trades some of his HP, as does Tyrant. At some point, Suzu's gonna have to walk in and get that diffuser planted. When, though? And when will Tyrant answer the call to swing on him? 20 seconds left.
It's gonna be risky.
Bottom of the main stairs. Usis has this angle. There's an explosion from above. Tyrant takes out Aniton. There goes the glass, and Eminem kills every single player from CAG in very quick order as the European team get their very first round.
Very few things went wrong there for Cyclops, but it's very small things paying a massive reward for the side of Eminem. Black Gray died with 1 grenade in his pocket on that lobby hatch. That grenade, combined with the drone information on where Tyrant was playing on that Melusi behind that shelf inside of the basement, that could have been an easy kill. That opens up the possibility to destroy that the laser gate on the breach. Smoke goes out, you can try and bait out the warden, get a second kill. But instead, that nade was not used. You die on the hatch, there's no way to force out these members of Eminem and keep positions, and then it just kind of falls apart. Eminem, they flanked up the blue stairs, they got good map control back when the retake, and it works out. Now, of course, gonna change the bomb site to kitchen instead, gonna extend up above, the castle comes into play. I like this. Deny those lines of sight from Cyclops because they've been so efficient and proactive at using their rotations to cut off members off the defense. We've seen it every single round so far with those opening kills. That's where Eminem, they fall. I think you have to play Warden every single round going forward. I mean, you only got this round and the next one left, but you pretty much have to because the smokes have been such a useful tool for Cyclops. And they still, this round as well, having a lot set in their pocket. It's Ayagata with 2 smokes on Twitch. And Susu C with the Amaru.
Oh, no, 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 no.
Here we go.
This is going to be fascinating to watch. I love these lineups from CAG. I am loving the chaos that is being brought. Again, no dedicated hard breacher, no secondary hard breach either. So, hard walls? To hell with it. We don't need to deal with it. Instead, we will just pummel you all over the map. There's a nade tossed out that takes out the castle barricade on the double window upstairs inside of the big bedroom. Small piece of the puzzle put in. We'll see bigger picture.
Yep. Step by step, go through the motion of the 1, 2, 3. Opening up those castle barricades is always going to be important because they're put there for a reason. That's what the defenders want to make sure that they can get cover from. Opening those up will then create gaps in that defensive lineup. Aniton taking a bit of damage from a Toxic Babe, I believe, on this window repel. Almost dying to it, actually.
Oh, Gatorada opening things up for Cyclops yet again. And there goes the Aruni on in. Solotov was prepared for it. Takes him down, but a second comes out from the buck of CAG. Gatorada marching in ever forward. Now it's Nello's turn to die. As Usis finds Black Gray. Both teams lose 1 apiece. CAG still with a numbers advantage, and Solotov is under fire inside of Trophy, standing shoulder to shoulder with Usis. But Aniton gets them both from the Trophy window. And while Cyclops forfeited the previous round, they get right back to their winning ways. And they will definitively win this first half, as they're up 4-1 with still 1 more round to go.
Yeah, I mean, we only really saw half what happened that round because it was happening across 2 different floors. We saw most of what happened on the top floor portion where we got the rotations, the big window repel and the Solarium Amaru jump in. But what happened at the same time was that 2 other members from CAG, Ayagator +1, they walked in through, I believe, lobby, in towards that dining hallway and walked straight into site. They traded 2 for 1, effectively getting bomb site control and presence, and that forced the remaining players that were up above from Eminem to fall back towards the bomb site. And that's when we saw that rotation just come out from the Nomad, get that final double kill from the window, because Eminem, they have nowhere to go and nowhere to play because they're getting attacked from all different angles. They're under so much pressure constantly. Normally as a defender, the map is yours, and the attackers have to take it. Kind of feels like it's double story right now. The map feels like Cyclops' map, and Eminem have to almost attack what they're defending because they're just losing so much control so quickly every single round. And I believe we have a Is this a technical timeout?
Well, Eminem have already taken their timeout.
Yeah, CAG wouldn't take it now, sure.
There's no way why CAG would take a timeout after going up 4-1.
So I believe, I can't confirm, but I believe this is technical, but the players are not talking. Okay.
It is a technical issue, so...
Okay.
Not sure what's wrong or with who.
Okay. So one player is waiting to reconnect, and we'll get right back into the action. I was going to say, it seemed like a weird time for CAG to slow things down because you want to maintain this momentum, right? Especially with how aggressively you've been playing the Amaru, the Glass, the Blitz, the Monty, like all those shenanigans, as we can call it. We have many terms for it. Pocket picks, one-off strats, etc. But it seems like a very methodical way that Cyclops are applying these strategies. And I feel like the bomb sites Eminem have been choosing in order, going basement first, then losing to a rush, it just applied so much mental pressure on how you roam on the map because you can't be too far away. Then Eminem they go bar. Cyclops, they get a literal perfect flawless round. Well, then you go bar again, but you change things up. You lose that as well. What do you do if you're Eminem? Nothing's working. They've gotten one round victory so far. It's that second basement defense. And that was everything kind of lining up for Eminem. Then they go kitchen after winning basement. They lose again. I'm not sure where you go if you're Eminem right now. I feel like you just gotta go top floor because you haven't been there before, but it's such a terrible bomb site statistically that it doesn't favor you either. It seems hard to find a victory some here for them.
I mean, there's options, but...
Yeah, but they don't work, right?
I owe to be a fly on the wall of some of these viewing parties right now and hear the analysts going over this matchup because I would love to know their thoughts on what exactly is going on. It looks like we have everybody back in the lobby.
Beautiful. Love it.
That Mozzie skin.
I was going to say, that stands out like a sore thumb. They are hovering bar, and it is locked in.
Locked in.
5 out of 5. So we will see a third bar attempt. 0 victories so far for Eminem on it. What are they changing? First time, it was an aggressive hold with Capcan and stuff. Second time, it was the Demira. Third time, it's going to be a bit of a, I guess, a mixed match. We get the Mossy out instead to deny the drone information. So perhaps Eminem thinks that the drone info is the issue right now. Cyclops, they are doing a good job with their drones, but it's not really the main story here. We just walk into the map and we're losing members. Might be a quick rehost here.
Okay.
One by one they fall. The timing of the coach of CAG kind of racing is like, yeah, we did it. But no, that round does not count. That would be very unfair. It is unfortunate, but it does happen. Can't do much about it. It sucks to be both Eminem and Cyclops in this case. Both teams are suffering. We'll get right back as soon as we can. I'm actually not sure on the specifics of the rules these days, if you can talk while this is happening, but I don't see either team's players' mouse moving. So I'm gonna go on an assumption here and say that you can't talk when this is happening.
I don't know.
Nilo started talking, I take it back. But the coach can't talk, we know that much. Because obviously there's always gonna be the whole like, oh, if you can talk during this, then maybe you can like kick your PC hard enough and like maybe get a I don't know. There's always like conspiracy theories whenever you see a rehost. Like we see it on Reddit all the time, right?
Yes.
Oh, this team, they have so many drone bugs, but like, is it even real? And it's like, honestly, hopefully they are always, but I mean, it goes without saying, there's always going to be 1 out of 1,000 instances where it might be forced, right? Not saying this one is, not saying it is in general, but you never know. Either way, players can talk, coach can't. They can figure out what's next. If you're Cyclops, go through the stat book. Which one do you bring? If you're Eminem, I mean, you already chose your bomb site, you showed it. You can't change with the operators, you can change your setup perhaps, but you have nothing to work off of, so I don't think this is going to grant either team much to talk about, really. Just keep the vibes high.
Well, I can definitely relate to the frustration on the face of Nello.
Little doggo. It's a sausage dog, I guess. It's kind of long. I like it. I think every team should have a mascot. I know most teams are pretty good at it, but I think every single team should have like a mascot of some sort. A plushie or some item.
A lot of teams bring plushies.
They do.
A lot of teams.
But I want
bringing
every
plushies.
team to do it. Because like then we can have like a plushie battle, like I don't know, dance off, a war, a comparison, whatever.
Have you ever considered the You Are Dark Zero's mascot?
I'm a penguin. I kind of count in that regard, I guess.
Oh, you're a furry. I didn't know that.
Oh boy, we had this talk earlier today.
Is your fursona Pengu?
Did you say fursona?
Yeah, it's like a persona, but with fur. It's your
Yeah,
fursona.
I know what it is. I'm just like, that's not a phrase I expected that coming out of your mouth. My fursona.
Your fursona.
Yeah, it's like, oh, why don't I say noot noot? And then that's my whole gig, my whole spiel. And I watch, it's not as bad anymore, but I watch like the documentaries that we did back in like 2018, 2019. I had a really bad like waddle when I walked back then. Like I was really embracing my fursuit, but like without the suit. It was just a part of my identity. And it's kind of like, it wasn't good. So I've been working on my walk actually the last couple of years, and I feel like it's gotten a lot better. But sometimes I still falter, you know?
Of course. It looks like the issue has been rectified, so we should be getting back in just a second.
You're a beaver, right? That's your thing?
I'm not.
What are you? You have to choose an animal.
I don't.
No, you have to.
What mandates that I choose an animal?
We just spoke about how every single team needs an animal plushie mascot.
I'm not on a team.
You're in the casting team.
Oh,
We're team cast.
Sakes.
Otherwise, we'll both be penguins as a duo. But then you don't get a say. My turf, my rules. We're the penguin squad then. Whatever. I'll ask the other casters what they are after this match. I'm curious to see in here. Bar, back in action. So Usis was on Mossy. Now he's on Valkyrie. So I'm gonna assume you can change operators. I didn't know you could change operators, but again, I haven't been a pro player for like 2 years soon, so maybe that's changed. Either way, admins they know better than I do, so I'm not gonna question it. I don't actually remember Cyclops' lineup because the round didn't really start, but there is no much in the board. Bar defense, third time. Eminem, they have not been successful yet. They lost it 2 times. One was a flawless victory for Cyclops. The second was not a flawless, but it was pretty good. It was the Monty diffuser carrier, and at the 1v3/1v2, 2 seconds left. Kind of close, kind of not. Suzu C and Capital, that's going to be the key operator together with the Aniton Osa. Whereas from the Eminem side, the Valkyrie camera information finally coming on the board for the second time in this game so far. Hopefully they can make some good use of it.
Mm-hmm. It's the last round, by the way, of this first half.
Yes, it is.
So
it's 5-1 or 4-2.
A 5-1 scoreline for Cyclops would likely be insurmountable. You have to think so.
Yeah. I mean, there's no room for error then if you're Eminem.
Absolutely.
And the pressure just keeps on mounting, as it has so far. It's a quiet start, minute off the clock almost. Action could happen any second though.
A medley of the same operators from Cyclops that we've seen over a course of a number of different rounds. Again, absent a traditional hard breacher. They've just decided they don't need it. And they've only really used it on Garage, so
yeah.
Open up Garage instead of that. Go without it. Why not?
I mean, if it works, right? You get more utility, more firepower, all that good stuff.
Pick good guns. That's really what it boils down to. And it seems from the way that they've been shooting over these 5 rounds, now 6 that we're in action with, that they're very comfortable with this weaponry and seem to like it alongside. Alongside the utility. Solotov having some difficulties controlling the recoil of the MX Storm. It leaves Gatorada with a pretty big dent in his health. Suzu is gone as well. The Capitao will not be able to unleash fire or any smoke whatsoever. It's a good start for Eminem, and only the second time that they've gotten that first blood.
This position right here that CAG finds himself in is, in my opinion, one of the hardest in all of Rainbow Six Siege. Dealing with these shields on both mezzanine and top blue stairs, all the crossfires and soft walls, it's very tough to break this line, but once you do, you're in a great spot. Eminem, they got the opening kill, makes it even harder.
Aniton can march forward, continuing onward. He's got both of his shields, though. Solotov taken down by Black Ray. We see a hop out from the Valkyrie as well. That's the real question. Inside a library, guarding the window. I don't know if there's any opportunity there for them whatsoever. CAG like direct pressure on the bomb site, and that's where they can go. Aniton takes out Tyrant. Eminem losing too many. Now it's Neo to go down from the same window. Gatorada cannot get a secure onto Usis before dealing a lot of damage in the process. Nello's the only one with full HP. 4v2, but Nello fires back. Black Ray decides to pressure the bomb site directly on. Only 20 seconds left. Eminem hanging on for dear life, but Anatoon walks in, takes full control. Nello on the bomb site is gone, and that is indeed a 5-1 scoreline for CAG. Not hopeless, but those are tough odds for Eminem.
Yeah, they are. One mistake and you're staring down match point, aka overtime, if you want to take the victory at any given point. And it does still feel like, despite that brief pause at the technical difficulties, that Cyclops do have that bit of a mental advantage. Eminem always second-guessing where the enemies might be coming from. And despite playing Valkyrie in that previous round, they had no stable information to work off of. Because CAG, they walked in through the master bedroom side, they took library control on the outer rims of it, then they just walked in through lobby, walked up the fireplace stairs, and then they rotated back towards the library balcony. They're basically attacking you from everywhere at the same time. Really good rotation work from them. Really stable attacks. Love to see that. Now we gotta see if Eminem can match that kind of pace and tempo, and if CAG can kind of tear them apart on the defensive side the same way they did on attack. Arbiter lineup-wise, CAG are bringing a lot of information here, right? Bulletproof camera on Jaeger, Echo and Valkyrie. They want to have full information available to them at all times, whereas no IQ comes out from MNM. They are bringing the Dokkaebi and the Twitch. Those are kind of soft counters. If you get an early kill, hack the cameras, that combats the information game. Of course, Twitch drones can sneak around, deny that information as well, but it requires these gadgetries to hit their marks and go undetected, which isn't always a guarantee. Or rather, it's never a guarantee.
Eminem used their timeout at the tail end of that third round, so there's no way for them to get back into this one. That is a debilitating blow. CAG can just vibe.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. They can just vibe on.
Just vibe on, man. Eminem being quick to the punch on this kitchen take. Uses is already in the main lobby. There's bulletproof cameras. There's black eye cams. There's yokais in play. What don't they have access to? Well, evil eye cams, that's it. Solitov taking out Black Ray. That's the frost down. The mats will persist. Obviously, assuming they don't get shot.
What CAG also doesn't have is a smoke, so the time right now from MNM is heavily favored. I mean, if you look at 30 seconds, you got 30 seconds, because when smoke's on the board, 30 seconds, more like 0 seconds, because those toxic babes can stall so much time away from your team. Other than that, you got the opening kill, took a bit of damage from Solotov, not the end of the world. Uses finds another, it's looking good for them.
The isolated Alligator playing down below. It's rough going for CAG. They're just getting picked off, their numbers whittled down as they're off-site. I would like to reiterate, they still have information on the side of CAG, and time again in both their Black Dragons matchup and here against MNM, there have been times where CAG are perfectly capable of getting a quick pick or two, and then ending up on even footing with their opponents.
It's a drone war!
Absolutely it is. The Twitch drone versus the yokai. Chat, if you want the yokai to win, type 1 in chat. If you want the Twitch drone to win, type 2 in chat. Please, we just like audience interaction here.
I'm not sure that's a fair fight, but whatever. One can shoot back and the other one can't really.
Well, it's which one do you want to win?
Sure, I'm just saying.
Maybe they're just not very accurate with their Twitch drones. The yokai ends up being...
Okay, that's fair, that's fair.
Who knows? Press 3 if you like the Flores drone, by the way. There you go. See, I'm introducing options for you.
I like that.
Anyway, Rotero drones still going in. Suzu having some difficulty stopping them and shooting them. He'll lose some of the protection on the wall and also lose some of the deployable shield. A flawless round shaping up right now for Eminem. Anaton amidst the smoke. Can't really do much. Manages to stop the diffuser, but gets taken down in the process. Gatarada from above. He's not getting past Solitov. Eminem suffer a single casualty, but they bounce back and deny CAG at least 1 point for now by guaranteeing CAG that match point. Still in very good position for Cyclops, but they're going to have to work a little bit harder.
It's a really good execute from MNM all throughout. Early map control and presence in basement, lobby, and library, and then they breached the walls that they needed both above and below. Smoke grenades came out to block lines of sight. Diffuser was delivered towards that chassis position. They trade 1 for 1. That's the entire round. Flank was covered. Boom. Success. Cyclops, they didn't actually play as aggressive as I thought they were going to be, because on Chalet, on the defensive side, you kind of have to do what Eminem was doing, but a little bit better. You gotta extend out across the map. You know, you wanna be in the starting position when the timer hits 0 for prep phase, and you wanna be where they want to attack. So if you're defending basement, for example, one member in library, one member in master bedroom, shut down those early zones that gives information, because if they know it's clear, they can rush on in, take map presence instantaneously, and that's going to be an issue for you, especially if you're not using that smoke, which they did not have in the previous round. That's trouble. So let's see if Cyclops change it up. I like this setup. Mirror windows being put up for their own presence again. This is going to make it more difficult for members like Usis and Tyrant and Solotov to get in throughout the map without being undetected. And it's going to grant a bit of comfort for Cyclops as well. Also, Suzuki playing with this extension on the pipes position. Normally those are double reinforced, but there's a rotate. You can fall back, reinforce that spare wall. You got 2 in your pocket top left of your screen. You can see it. Options are available.
I'm just waiting for a rush of M&M on their own.
Oh, yeah.
If it'll even ever come to pass. Gator sustaining some damage playing right now. On the stairs leading to the back of Wine. West Main,
Yeah.
if you want to be specific. Sometimes you get your cardinal directions wrong. You say, well, it's West Main. Well, is it East? I don't know. Oh, nice shot by
Free fire, I
Gatorada.
think.
Down goes Solotov. Black Ray will follow shortly thereafter. Tyrant quick to try and equalize after that trade is done. But Gatorada is able to get out of there. Life still intact. This is a basement hold, and there is a late black mirror going down based on the location of where the attackers are going to come from. Nicely put.
So much time left as well. I feel like so much has happened, right? The roam, the map control, the duel that came out early in the round, Blackberry falling, Solotov traded. Still got a minute and 30 on the clock. Eminem, they're attacking from the master bedroom area of the map, west main, kitchen, etc. Now the hatch is opened up, which is a problem for Suzuki, who's playing out of pipes. If they take hatch control and stare down the hatch, Suzuki is stuck in that position as smoke with no way back, really. That could be a problem.
There's firm control of that floor directly above the bomb site as well. The hatch being a big issue. There's soft destruction to be had. There really isn't a lot at the moment. I mean, Neo could, I guess, get into that position, but if there's soft destruction to be had, this can cause some serious issues. You noted that there was no smoke for CAG. They fixed that problem this time, so they have the option to wear down that clock, and there's the first toxic canister to be released by Suzuki.
The position, the smoke, right? You're stuck in this position, so you can only really smoke one area. EMPs comes out, grenades. You're under so much pressure here.
And that's a perfect flush out onto the smoke as well. The toxic gas will linger. There's a ping onto that trench door. Who from CAG will have the confidence to step up and cover that angle? Nello wandering on in. A Gator taken down by Tyrant. Gatorada struggling with that Goyo canister on the library stairs. Anaton doesn't have the weaponry to really deal a lot of damage, so instead it's a nitro cell. Diffuser going down, tossed out, and it goes off. That's the diffuser now with 10 seconds to go. Anaton is in this crazy position, and he manages to pull it off. Suddenly it's Neo left to do what with no time left? Nothing at all. Cyclops will move to match point against Eminem.
What a way to go to match point as well. Absolutely huge round from Anaton. The jiggle peek for information, played it beautifully. C4 denies the plan. You get the one tap afterwards. Your teammate follows through the bomb site, gets the flick onto Ayana, and you all of a sudden a 2v4 becomes a 2 versus 1 with 1 or 2 seconds on the clock. And in the introduction, while we were buying time for the game to start, you said, Parker, that in the EUL, Eminem, they're known to kind of throw these rounds that are like 1v4s, 2v4s, etc. Like massive advantageous rounds just don't go their way. That was one of those rounds. Like, sure, Cyclops did it really, really well, but regardless of how well they played it, Eminem, they should have that on lockdown, and they didn't. And because of that, they're now staring down the barrel that's called match point. This is a terrible position to be in. You gotta win 4 times in a row to go to overtime. Otherwise, you lose regulation, you get 0 points. Not the place you wanna be at, even though you beat Sonics earlier in the day. It's time to pick up the pieces. We can just stop playing crazy for Eminem, because now you need to play to win. You cannot be afraid of winning. You cannot be afraid of losing. You just gotta go in and do your thing and take all the risks you can take, because otherwise it's over anyway. Play with no fear.
A spawn peek by Black Ray. This could really be the dagger through the heart of Eminem. CAG blowing up their lineup. Mozzie, Warden coming out. I like this. No hard breacher outside of the ace for M&Ms. They will run with just the Selmas. They had a thermite on the previous round. Eminem playing a more conventional lineup on attack. We saw time and time again CAG decided, well, we don't need to go with any hard breachers. Fair enough. That's your prerogative. M&M want to go with something that looks a bit more familiar. That's understandable, very sensible. And it also prevents you from having to problem solve mid-round. If CAG ends up stalling on one of their attacks and suddenly a hard breacher looks really nice, then they kind of have to change things around.
That was actually nice. A single EMP, secondary EMP that is, forced out Gatorada's position at corner library because he thought he was going to be in trouble from like a grenade, but it was like purely a bait. Like Lion uses through that EMP, nothing happened afterwards, but Gatorada had to respect the fact that he had no protection from the ADSs, drop down. Nicely done. All these small mini games you have in Siege right now with all the different pieces of utility. It's almost like you gotta really play off your instinct in these scenarios.
Solotov on Repel, staring in the library. He would have tussled with Anaton. Anaton, oh my. What a day he's had. Even with the disappointing finish against Black Dragons earlier on, Anaton showed up in spades and has been a hero for a number of rounds, especially the last one. Gatorada's down for the count, and a nade goes in and it takes out Anaton, as we said, that star player. Black Ray down below, guns down Neo, diffuser getting planted, and Alligator's not going to be able to get in, the window being watched perfectly. CAG is boxed out of the bomb site and will have to work with the 40 seconds as Eminem sits over top of it. It's a real rough spot to be in. Almost certainly, I imagine that CAG is just going to take a timeout. I don't think they know that they can win, especially as they continue to take as much time as possible. Black Ray sacrificed by the main door. Suzu is just waiting.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's going to be a timeout. Talk to the team. There's no real hope of you winning whatsoever. You've got plenty of runway to land this plane. Still at least 3 more rounds to stave off overtime. Are they able to pull it off? That's the real question. M&M looked triumphant on that round. It was a rare bright spot for them over the last, I don't know.
I mean, since the game started,
Yeah,
pretty much, actually. Yeah, I mean, Eminem did win round number 4 in basement, but yeah, that's like the only real showcase in the head besides their first original attack on Kitchen. That looked good, actually, on round number 7. But yeah, not a lot of bright spots so far. The Cyclops, I mean, I was reading the Reddit post-match on the Black Dragon Cyclops game, and I saw a lot of Cyclops fan posting in there. And half the comments were like, oh my god, I'm so happy Cyclops went to OT against Black Dragons, yada yada yada. The other half was like, I can't believe I woke up this early and then they disappoint me by not winning. And I was like, Cyclops, your match point at 6-2. If there ever was a time to really pull through for the fans, this gotta be the one, right? Upset this one, beat Eminem, who beat Sonics earlier in a really dominant fashion on a map that Eminem has never lost on, right? You brought up in the beginning, this is Eminem's best map, and statistically, one of the most dominant winning streaks from any team really on Chalet. It'll be a huge victory for Cyclops if they can pull through at the end.
Well, CAG set up heavy investment upstairs, reinforcements, ADSs, deployable shield, kill holes, rotate holes, etc. Hang on to this for dear life as you defend that kitchen down below. There's one kitchen defense from Cyclops back in round number 7. It did not pan out.
No, it was almost a flawless from Eminem. Only 1 loss suffered. And Cyclops, they played so passive, didn't really hold on to any real map control in that round. That punished them. And again, no one's roaming library side. No one's like, if one member is killing Tyrant's drone right now, then a second drone has to come out and follow along. It's going to slow them down tremendously. But instead, Cyclops, they're just going to be sitting around waiting inside a piano, office, etc., playing a very passive approach to this round. And I don't think that's the right approach for them, because look at Eminem. 40 seconds into the round, they're just hammering down the walls in library already. And there's no real answer from either of these black eye cameras.
They're still gaining info off of it. One man burned off of the clock right now. If there's any frustration on M&M, it hasn't really shown on their faces. No visible frustration. No audio frustration either.
Grenade!
Spam pings onto the sledge so that they know to potentially peek him while he has the nade in hand, and there it goes, but just a bit delayed. No.
How do you have a yellow pink black eye camera and 2 people get injured / died to that grenade? That shouldn't happen, right? It shouldn't happen. You know he's gonna throw the grenade.
It shouldn't happen.
It shouldn't happen.
It shouldn't happen. But guess what?
It did.
It did happen. It did happen.
Didn't
And Anaton almost got taken out by it. It was nearly a twofer, as we call in the business.
2 for 1 indeed.
I never said 2 for 1. I just said twofer.
Pretty sure that's what it is, no?
Not sure.
Not sure. Black Eye comes aside, not gonna do much. Flores drones or Retero drones still going through. And again, these Valkyrie cameras, they're there, sure. Yellow pings coming out, sure, but there's no value being gained.
No.
And Suzu C had a hard. You mentioned this earlier. Sometimes your aim with the drones don't work out.
Yep.
It just happened. So Retero drones, massive dop. Look at this. Yep, massive dop. They are the superior drones right there.
Absolutely. That's 3s in the chat, by the way. 4 in the
Yes.
chat for the Evil Eye cams.
No force, please.
Smokes now go out. Nella with the diffuser in hand, getting it down at the halfway mark. And the coverage for M&M looks to be mighty good. Suzy with the very first kill. They stare down the long barrel right now. From above, Solotov pinching Iagator. Suzu is very next. It's just Black Ray in a 1v4.
They're clawing it back round by round.
Absolutely. Now, M&M are doing this just simply based on the side. This is now shaping up to be very attacker-favored Chalet. Can Black Ray pull it off? Seems unlikely. Another timeout could be taken as there's no real hope at this point. And there you go. Save it. You've only got 2 seconds left. M&M will take the round. They are really clawing it back, as you said. And he'll just wait. Wait. There they have it.
Now, Cyclops tried bar, didn't work. They tried kitchen just now, did not work. They do have basement opened up again, which previously they did win. But they're slowly running out of options that seems to favor their playstyle right now. And again, I'm questioning how passive they're playing. Again, the Valkyrie camera is available. Yellow pings are coming out like crazy. But they don't really commit to the information game. And they start off so passive that, well, the first time they fight each other is basically on the room next to the bomb site instead of starting on, again, on the exterior area. Bar, library, apply some pressure, kill a drone, fall back. Because MNM, they're not really cutting off rotations, and Cyclops should know this because the windows aren't being opened up early on. Cyclops, they are calling for their tactical timeout. Perfect time for it. At 6-4, things aren't working out. You obviously need to talk to your coach here to try and steer the boat around and find that final victory that you need to get that regulation victory.
Can they stop the bleeding that we see happening? That is the question that needs to be answered. I make you the coach of CAG. What are you assessing right now? What is the problem? How do they fix it?
I mean, first of all, I like the fact that we're going basement because that's what I would do. It worked before, it might work again. But secondly, I would say, because we can't just assume that this round goes in their favor. We gotta talk about what if we lose this round, what happens after. No matter what bomb site you choose that's not basement, you need to be proactive on the map. You can't just start the round on the bomb site and wait for them to come to you. The bombs on the chalet, they're weak. You gotta start way across the map, slow them down, fall back room by room, time after time again, drone after drone, and slowly kind of jab at your opponent, if you will. And CAG on the basement defense last time, they did that. Mirroring inside our kitchen, they were roaming top floor, they traded 1 for 1, then fell back to bomb site. That's good. CAG on bar and kitchen, they start on bomb site, they wait, they lose.
To be fair, this could very easily be a 5-5 map right now.
Yes.
Because of the fact that Anaton clutched out on this bomb site.
That is true.
I mean, it's the only site that we've seen CAG win on defense so far, and they did it through heroics.
They did.
Not exactly sustainable. Bandit tricking going on. There's one exothermic charge. Huge value for CAG.
The worst part for this is not the fact that MNM, they've committed 2 members to the side of the map. They realize there's a bandit now. and now they just have to rotate. They wasted 40 seconds, 1 extra thermal charge, 1 EMP. They either need to call for nades from Solotov to rotate over, or just give up on that side. Massive burn on the clock there for Eminem. That could be a problem.
Air jab's going out, preventing a late roam from CAG. Oh no, it's happened again.
Oh.
There's a default cam still up.
Saw this earlier as well.
Not great.
No.
And that was, what was that? That was TSM versus Heroic, was it not?
No, it was the bank game, so it was a CAG Black Dragons.
Oh, that's right.
I'm pretty sure.
Right. Yeah, you're right. It's been a lot of Rainbow Six today so far.
It has been, yeah. We're going to see here MNM what they will do. They have 1 extra thermic charge left. Of course, they got Neon Ace, they got 3 Selmas too, but the time is the biggest talking point right now. Bandit can keep denying one area, while the Jammers will absorb that remaining EMP from uses. The grenades from Solotov might need to be used to deny those wall gadgetry instead of going for player kills, and that right there could be one of the big problems. Now, there's only 1 shield on the side of Cyclops. So the nades, they're important, but they're not like that important. But this 1 shield position right here, they have to clear that if they want to attack the back line.
Black Mirror gets popped out. It's a drone on in. Lots of hard breach being brought right now, and they've already been stopped in their tracks on that main garage panel, so instead they'll take out the back of Wine, open it up with the Selmas quite intact, and you can see there's a nice way on in. Where are CAG playing, though? Well, they've got Suzu above. You've got a group of cohorts down below. Black Ray taken out by Solotov. That's not ideal for CAG. Now it's Alligator. Next one up by the deployable. Selma still going off. Flashes in. ADSs are powerless. Nello waiting for the engagement. He will decide to take it, but misses his opportunity. No nitro cell for the Mirror. Gatorada just over the shoulder will take out one. Uses, comes in from a blind angle, and suddenly Alligator's down, and now it's Gatorada to fall too. Anaton and Suzu to clutch out as the diffuser is going down, but Nello is in such a safe spot. Suzu will have to look to his left. That's where Tyrant is positioned, but he doesn't know that someone's behind him, and MNM have almost pulled off the comeback against CAG. I can hear the hearts of APAC fans breaking over the world. As boy, oh boy, MNM showing why they have been such a hard team to shake in the EUL.
And if you look at the numbers breakdown from the rounds, like Eminem isn't just winning these, they're getting open and kill all 3 previous rounds. They're getting bombed down all 3 rounds, and they're getting the round victory. That they're dotting every single box right now and saying check, 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 map control intact, good roam clear, people are staying alive. I was actually worried for them how they would problem solve that the pipes wall, so the wall that they extra thermal charged at the end, because they had no EMPs left. There was a jam on it. That mirror window got opened up, and I was like, that's going to be a problem. But with good usage of flash grenades, smoke grenades, and a frag grenade, they dealt with it. Sure, the shield didn't really get cleared, but they just snuck on into the breach, and that crossfire that the attackers established on towards the bomb side, it completely locked out the remaining players of CAG. There was no echo, there was no smoke, no C4s left in pocket either, and even if there were, Eminem had enough manpower left alive to just replace the planter one more rotation. They were fine to get it down there, even if a C4 went out. Now, you asked me what I would tell CAG if I was the coach, and I said, sure, go basement first, but we gotta talk about the round after in case you lose. Well, that's where we are right now. They're gonna go master bedroom for the first time. This is good for them because they haven't shown this setup before. It's gonna be new territory for Eminem, but Cyclops at the same time, they also don't know what to expect from Eminem and how they attack it. The orbital lineup is a very safe choice for CAG, right? Melusi, Jaeger, Warden, Aruni, and Frost. Nothing can really go wrong with this, but the attacking lineup, we're seeing both Nomad and Capital. Capital, most notably, is not something that Eminem has been played so far, so that's obviously going to be a situational operator for this particular bomb site that they want to abuse. Claymores as well, stopping those jump outs. We're building up the foundation to attack this in a very methodical method.
Well, 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 we have watched this matchup close, and some underperformers on CAG since this rehost. again, another rough game from Black Ray. The top player on this team for all of Stage 3, the king of APAC North, having some major issues against international competition. First against Black Dragons, and now struggling mightily against EU. And you speak of the devil, and the devil shall appear. Black Ray gets away with a single HP as we were talking about him. Very easily could have been the first casualty here, giving a major advantage to MNM. They smell blood in the water, and they're going to try to secure this pick. I don't know if there's a way to bail him out. He'll get droned out very quickly.
Tough position to be in. Still gotta hold your ground. You can't just give it up for free. Tyrant's gonna get a little bit of chip damage, but nothing takes him out. Second smoke from using that drone hole there. Interesting.
Black Ray's repositioned now in a bit of a safer spot. The good thing for Black Ray is that you focus way too much on it. Oh, and suddenly Eminem gets tunnel vision. Gatorada goes down. Black Ray a kill after Gatorada had found one. Tyrant almost a team kill on Danilo. That could have been the fatal blow for Eminem and give a massive leg up. Look at how close Anaton is. He may be able to do something to Nello. Waiting patiently. Neo and Nello so close by. Diffuser being planted in the corner. Neo has the cross. Will somebody come in that direction? That's the real question. A kill from Tyrant onto Black Ray. Diffuser goes down. Time will work against CAG. Gator is no more. Oh, a run out will get him. And there's Nello to shut the door. CAG, we're up 6-2. And they just can't get it done. Overtime is on the board, and Nello is fired up.
Yep, throws down that cloth on the table saying, we're doing it, boys. The comeback has begun. I mean, even if Eminem were to lose now, they have gotten back all the way from, what, a 5-2? Yeah, 5-2 situation. 6-2 actually even, and they've guaranteed themselves a singular point no matter what happens. But with how things are going, they can take both, and I will say that confidently because they are looking like the better team in this later half. And to make matters worse, this has been an attacker-favored map of Chalet, which is not anything that's out of the norm, but MNM, they are the team starting on attack in overtime. They get 2 shots at this if they were to go all 3 rounds, whereas CAG, they gotta start on defense. They only won a single round, round number 8 on basement. That's all they got done. Then it was the last 4 rounds in a row. It's an opening kill, plant, and round victory for Eminem. Literally just doing everything they need to do and more 4 times in a row. That's how they got here. That Chalet unbeatable record, that run is still alive for Eminem.
Jeez Louise. It's really something. Really, really something when you think about it. How close CAG was.
Yeah.
And now how far that seems away.
Yeah. All happened in a span of, what, 15, 20 minutes, give or take? And it's a whole different environment that we're looking at. And I mean, you said it yourself, after the rehost, I mean, Gator was 0-6. Hasn't gotten a kill, not even an assist on the board. You're basically, statistically from the reset, playing 4 versus 5. Whereas look at Eminem, 4-11, 4-7-3. Besides Tyrant is popping off right now before the rehost, or after the rehost, sorry. It's pretty even across the board. Every single member getting so much value. No hero plays needed. You said it as well, Anaton, he single-handedly got them that clutch on the basement bottom side. This could have been a different story if not for that. Eminem again, taking map control so quickly, minute into round. They're working on basement, they got yellow ping information, they got 1/2 of the map on the library side. Nilo just holding this member stuck. They know he has to be in that barrel-ish area. Lionshot comes out, locks him down. Solotov can practically guess exactly where he's gonna be, but how risky do you gonna get? It's a 50-50 1 versus 1 unless reinforcements they come down there.
There's a flash that goes out. Beautiful. Solotov easily getting a Gator. And he's no more. Nicely played by Eminem. Gator still searching for a kill. Just cannot buy any action right now at all.
It's been tough.
Absolutely devastating for this team.
Really good use of drone work there. Nelo, I mean, he's still in spawn at this point, basically, because he was holding that member stock for like an entire minute, but it's worth it. Anderton gets Neo instead. That still could be off the board. Not a huge loss, all things considered, because what you really need here is the Sledge with the grenades and Tyrant with terror drones. Sure, Uses already spent all his Lion charges. If he died, that's better, but this is not that bad for Eminem.
And Solotov still has a beat on the Valkyrie. Might take this engagement on his own. There goes the wall inside of Dining. Toxic Canister tossed out. Tyrant will now go on to the Flores drone. The Roteros, which have been such a terror, and Suzu has...
Press 3!
Suzu has had some difficulties. When you see a Flores drone, I want you to spam 3 for me. That's what we've been talking about. And again,
it's getting the ball!
Difficulties. Oh my goodness. This is tough. This is a really tough situation to be in because those Evil Eyes are just totally powerless. CAG falling by the wayside, but they've answered back, and now with Usus down, suddenly MNM are in a 2v2, but there's a moment of vulnerability. As Nello will be able to get the diffuser down, it's Solotov and Nello to watch over one of the teammates that bleed out. It's all on Suzu, who won't be able to do it. And would you believe it? It is Eminem's first lead of the game, and they are up 7-6.
I mean, you cannot point to like a single issue as to why things are going the way they are, and I hate isolating a single player or a single moment, but the Maestro versus Terror Drone situation between Suzu C and Tyrant is completely unfair, it seems. I mean, it just shouldn't go that way that many times. Not like you're opening the Evil Eye and a player shoots the camera. It's the Evil Eye trying to shoot the Terror Drone on the ground and just missing every single shot. All 1, 2, 3 times that it's been defended. Or actually 2 times, because the first time they didn't play Maestro. So the last 2 times they've played it, that's really been one of the main stories, because the Terror Drones are cleaning out all the information basically for free. And it's such a big win condition for Cyclops. I mean, they could go off the Maestro to any other operators and get a different kind of value, but instead they picked the Maestro, which just doesn't seem to find any. Of course, Tyrant, he played it really well. He's dancing around those saps, going left and right, jumping up and down, sure. But it shouldn't be that difficult as to what it appears like. And now Tyrant is going to be aggressive in the spawn peak. When pressure is at its highest, do you expect a spawn peak if you're CAG? Well, I don't know, but they are bringing the Monty. They are bringing that stable, comfortable operator that works so well for them, and it is also Monty who peeks the rock first and sees the window is indeed opened up. Tyrant, you can't fight that operator. You gotta run away and find something else.
I just... Where's the mental for CAG? Where is the team that...
In the basement.
Yeah, I mean...
It has to be, right?
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. Fair enough.
I mean, you're right. Like, I like the fact that Monty gets brought out, maybe to bring some comfortability and familiarity in how they can approach this map on their attacking side. But also, the attackers who are Cyclops were a very strong team. They went 5-1 on their attacks. This is not the problem. The problem is, even if they win this round, they gotta defend again. That's where my question mark lies. What do they do even if they win this?
It seems like it's been eternity since the domination from Cyclops. It was front and center on your screen, and they're going to lose Gadarada early. Cyclops sacrificing the very first kill. Eminem collecting it quite gladly, and now it's Anaton to the rescue. He just dances off the damage that's done by that Nitro cell. Teams trading blows left and right. Eminem far enough back, playing over towards Solarium. That's Solotov, who can now head down the trophy stairs. Last thing he wants is a Monty to go after him. Nello takes down Black Ray. To his teammate's aid, he comes. That's Tyrant to fall from Eminem, the very first kill for CAG. Suzu dropping Solotov. There's still a chance here for CAG. Things looked quite grim at the beginning.
It's a basement attack, by the way. Just pointing that out. All that happened in Master Bedroom, that's as far away from the bomb site as humanly possible. Anaton half HP, Suzu C less than that. All 3 members of MNM, all full HP. Now, There's no smoke, there's no C4. This means Anderson on the mountain is really, really hard to deal with. Suzuki has 2 exothermic charges. These walls can be opened up. Anderson can walk in with the extended shield, get into a plant position, no one can stop him. That's the game plan right now if you see CAG. 2 members cover, flank drone from dead person holds the flank, Monty tries to plant. And it looks like that's exactly what they're gonna do. At the very least, it should be the best course of action.
And Anton's just going to walk right in, bring the heat towards the Jaeger, but he's lost Gator. Anton jiggle peeking around, good enough for a single kill. Cannot outduel Nello, but it's a 1v1. Suddenly it's Suzu against Uzis to keep the dream alive. No! CAG choke it in the final round to MNM. And their record remains intact on Chalet. 8-6
Wow.
for MNM.
And it's 6 rounds in a row. 5 of those open and kill, plant, and round victory. The final round, open and kill, no plant, but still round victory. That is absurd to look at. I didn't believe it when it happened. I was like, 5-1, it's gotta be over. Then it goes 6-1, yeah, for sure it's done now. Guess what? We're going OT in almost every single game that we're casting today, Parker. That's just the way it's gonna be.
Really rough day for CAG, and I have to imagine that their emotions are probably quite high. It was 6-2 in favor of Cyclops. The scoreline finishes 8-6. That means 6 unanswered rounds from MNM and 7 of the last 8 rounds going into their column. That is incredible mental fortitude and very good staying power. And yeah, I mean, what more is there to say? Cyclops' looks on their faces, well, that tells the whole story.
Yeah, you know that their players are not happy with that result because that was in their bag and they couldn't just get it done. And tomorrow's a new day. That's all we can say.
That's true. I mean, it's still a 2-point day for Cyclops.
Not the end of the world at all. It just feels worse than it is.
I mean, I would be more worried about what it does to your team's composure than what it does to the standings. But this is a very competitive group. And we'll actually take a look at the groups when we get back from